Hey guys, what's up? Another episode of Car Talk here, and yes, I'm wearing the same thing that I wore last episode, but that's because I do these back to back, and it's the only way I can really get them out. So, there was a thing that I watched last night. I'll try to find the link to it on Facebook, but it was a guy talking about the psychological association of animals to food, and how it's acceptable to eat some things, but not eat others, like you don't eat dogs or cats, but in some countries they do. And in this country we eat pigs and, cows, chickens, and it's okay to eat those things. And I could tell that it was going towards the vegan thing, but I kept watching because he had a lot of really good points. Unlike What the Health, which made me want to turn off the documentary and throw things because it was so false. But back to the subject, he made a good point. He said, these things are ingrained in our culture, and a lot of people grow up thinking things would be true just because of how industry and tradition leads us that way. So if we grew up thinking it was acceptable to eat dogs and cats and they weren't our friends or pets, that would be okay, which it does happen. There's fur trades for dog fur in other countries, and it's scary, and it's something that I have always been against. And for a long time, I was on the side of vegetarian. So for 7 years, I was a vegetarian, and it was a choice that I made because I did a research paper on the health benefits of being a vegetarian, and I looked at the animal cruelty aspect of things, and it was just a huge selling point for me because I have compassion for animals, and it's really hard even to this day to not think about what I'm eating and what could have happened. From the health side of things, you've got to look at what's in our food too. So even if you're not a compassionate person about animals, and keep in mind, I'm saying this, I'm not accusing you of anything, because I do eat meat now. I don't eat pork products because I love pigs, and I actually want to have a pet pig at some point. Hopefully of the smaller sort, not a huge one. But there's a lot of negative things as far as the dairy industry, as far as the meat industry, and it has to do with how they raise them. And so you're seeing a lot of people that are starting to raise arms about antibiotics in our food, about how the animals are treated when they are, raised, like the livestock, or if they're grass-fed or if they're fed corn diets. It makes a huge difference on how we get nutrition from our food. And he was more on the animal side of things, the animal cruelty side of things, which is cool too. But I'm more on the health side of things because I want people to be successful in their fitness approach or, overall health approach. Really, overall health is more where my mind is these days now that I'm in my 30s. So you got to think about these things, right? And a lot of people think that, and this is a great point that he brought up, you can't get enough protein when you're a vegan, and that's completely false. There are multiple ways to get protein. Quinoa has like 9 grams of protein per cup or something like that, which that's easy to eat, and that's a lot of protein. And also the meat and dairy industry has pushed, that milk is the best source of calcium, when in reality there are really a lot better sources of calcium out there, and you don't have to drink milk that has antibiotics in it and is killing your microbiome, which is another talk that I had. So basically, to boil this all down, because I'm at 4:30 and I want to keep these things at about 5 minutes, do your research. Do some research on alternative ways to eat, and maybe even, the vegan side of things and the vegetarian side of things. I'm not asking you to go watch all the PETA videos, because they suck and I wouldn't even want to watch them again. But I am asking you to think about what's in your diet. And, if you're a vegan and you're watching this, stop being such an asshole, because the only way that you're going to get more people to actually go to the farmers markets and eat better things and stop eating so much meat from a terrible industry is to talk to them at eye level instead of talking down to them. And that's one big thing. One thing that kept me from wanting to be a vegan is just how negative those fuckers are. And don't be that person. I live with a vegan now. She's awesome. She never talks down to us about what we eat. And she is very much about sustainability. That's her major in college. And that is a very cool thing. So, sorry for the explicit words, but I want to bring home, like, the what the health approach is not the right approach, and it's a lot of false information, but there's great research out there about the benefits of cutting back on meat, cutting back on your dairy, and being way more healthy than, you know, eating that big rib back there to Saul. So on that note, thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. Peace!